Angel City? It's your girl Panda here, bringing you another episode, finally, of Angel City Chicks. That's right. Took a week off. You know how we tend to do here towards the end of the season when things get a little hard to discuss. But anyways, we are here. We're gonna do a little recap, kind of, sort of the next game or the next game. Wow,
the next game.
We lost.
It's over.
It's over. Now we're gonna recap the last game that we played a little bit and just talk about some news and notes and what's going on. And yeah, but I can't do this alone. You know that this would be really weird if I did this by myself. I don't think anyone would enjoy me just chatting about what I think. So I've got the one, the only Nina Kiefer in the house. What's going on, Nina?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the end of season 3, episode 111. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all the platforms at Angel City Chicks and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Ben is already here with us and hanging out. You could be too if you had all of your notifications enabled and you got that ding ding alert whenever we went live. We love when you talk to us during the show.
Yeah, we do. It gives us a little more content. You know, it's not just us talking at you, it's talking with you, conversing, and it's kind of good, especially when things don't always go as planned and you kind of need to, I guess, air some grievances, work through, whatever it is you're going through. And let's be honest, we're probably all going through a lot right now. And I think one of the reasons that we didn't actually pod last week was last week, a lot happened. It was a big week for our country and just too many emotions. Let's just say that. This is not a political podcast, so we are not going to go into that. But I'm sure a lot of you were feeling the same way a lot of us were. There's just a lot of frustrations going on there. So it wasn't really the right time to pod. I thought everybody needed to kind of take a minute and kind of work through it in their own way. Because I know how I am sometimes when I react emotionally in the moment. I definitely know how Nina is when she reacts emotionally.
Me?
And I
could never.
Yeah, right. And yeah, it was just too soon. Too soon. It really was. So not that anything has gotten any better in a week, but at least we've had time to process it and figure out how we're going to live our lives going forward. But either way, what we're going to not be living without going forward for a few more years is Cindy LaRue.
Yeah, LaRue is committed through 2027. She's quoted as saying, "I'm going to play until the wheels fall off." Super exciting that she is staying with us. I think she really holds it down up front. I love the dynamic that she adds to this team. And I'm super excited that we get to keep LaRue and that she'll retire with us. She's ours.
Yeah, I like LaRue. She's feisty. She plays with grit. She's got a lot of game left to play, and I think just staying on our team and just being there, especially to help mentor the kids. Sid and the kids, gonna keep that going for a little bit longer. And speaking of kids, she had a pretty profound statement that she had put out on Instagram, and it was kind of in response to the whole childcare allegations and everything that Angel City came out with.
Poor grandma.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to read this to you because I know you guys aren't all on the YouTube. You're listening in your car. So let me just run through this real quick since I can probably read this better than Nina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Accurate.
Yeah, exactly. So what she said was, since the inception of this league, players have pushed the NWSL to a world-class standard, and we'll continue to fight for our league to be an inclusive and supportive place for all of us. The NWSL should not force a mother to choose between chasing her dreams or having children, nor should teams be forced to choose between having mothers on their roster or not. While I understand mistakes were made by Angel City, I sincerely hope that the league reevaluate its policies around childcare and supporting working moms, as that should be encouraged and never subject to the salary cap. My hope is that we can all work together to figure out a better solution. I truly believe it benefits all of us, and when we support mothers chasing their dreams with their children by their side. So great statement. Nobody better to make that statement than her, and definitely right in her statement, especially saying the part about teams being discouraged by having mothers on their team. Like, can you imagine
that screams?
I'm not saying they would.
I don't believe it.
I don't think they are, but if they keep not making the rules clear, and they keep putting things in place that are a little bit of barriers or maybe gray areas, and they're just like, I don't know. And if it's between someone who has kids and someone who doesn't, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying also, like, to have children is a choice, and no other profession. I mean, if you're at a hospital, a lot of the times they do have like childcare and things like that. But, it's the same for everyone. Like when I choose to have children, I'm going to have to figure out childcare. My work's not going to give me extra money as a result of that. It's going to be my burden to bear.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I think they're just talking about how it's very confusing, how they thought something and they didn't. So something needs to be figured out is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they need to pay for childcare and that's how it's going to be, but something needs to be figured out so that there's not going to be teams that are getting penalized or discouraged by hiring mothers because they're not sure of what the rules are and they don't want to take that risk. And again, guys don't have this problem. You don't hear them talking about childcare, do you?
no, because they're having their women stay at home still.
I know. So that, it kind of sucks for the women. So anyways, I don't know what the provisions are for, the CBA and everything.
I mean,
I
it
don't
started
know.
out as this was an issue of 5 side letters or whatever, and then it gets into the fact that it's about childcare, and I'm just now so confused. And it's a lot of like he said, she said, or she said, and I just don't even know what to think. The fact is, we paid our players too much. We didn't calculate correctly. There's gray area in the rules, as you've pointed out, and that's it. And we wouldn't have made playoffs either way.
Well, either way, we can't say that for sure because you don't know if those last couple games could have gone differently had their mindset been different.
True. And with that, a childcare perspective, I want to talk about some big news that came out, and that has to do with the new Angel City training facilities, which are going to include a childcare room.
Right. I mean, it's a perfect segue into what we were talking about. We kind of wanted to start with Sid and everything and talking about, making it better for women. And of course, Angel City leading the way on making it better for our team, starting from like step one. People want a better product on the pitch. People want things to be happening that they can. Well, it starts here. It starts in training. It starts at that point. And let me tell you, I don't know if anything would motivate me more than having this kind of performance center. I mean, it's kind of like me whenever I'm kind of feeling down in the dumps about, running or exercising. All I have to do is go buy a nice pair of running shoes and a new pair of leggings. And all of a sudden the motivation is back because I need to like check it out and try them out. And I can only imagine that this is going to motivate these ladies to want to get out there and really, really, really show them like, all right, with the proper facilities and everything starting from the ground up, maybe we can put out a product that people will be proud of out on that pitch. Now, do you want to run through some of these, the things about it and the stats on it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a new 5,400 square foot gym equipped with brand new performance and sports science technology, in addition to direct pitch access with roll up doors, where you got custom lockers, which you can see if you're with us on the YouTubes, for the players, coaches, staffs, and a dedicated locker room for players under 18. You've got a hydrotherapy area, outdoor relaxation lounge. You've got medical treatment rehab area for them to have private rooms and doctor's office consultations, nutrition areas. We already hinted at the children's play area. And then, of course, a meeting room where they have film capability so they can watch everything back. And, you got to have offices and stuff for your coaching staff. A nice, cute little boot wall will feature everything sporty and apparel.
Love
and
that.
A great area to capture all of their content. So no more filming between the trailers.
Outside of what looks like a place where you use the bathroom at a concert or something. But yeah, no, it's great. I'm really excited that that they have this facility. I mean, I know they've been struggling for a little bit with sharing facilities and timing of facilities and just all that. So hopefully this will be something that can maybe garner in a new era for Angel City. I'm starting there from the training. I love this comment that I saw out on X. Like, for the most part, most of the comments were positive on this. Most people were like, okay, yeah, finally. And they were very excited about this, that, and everything. And the one comment that made me laugh a lot was this one. It says, meanwhile, wave train out of a storage pod and play in a litter box. It just made me laugh. Like, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if it's that bad, let's be honest. But hey, I thought it was a funny analogy. So either way, I don't know where they even train, to be honest. So they could be accurate. I mean, maybe they're training out on the beach,
running hopefully in the correct direction. But, with that also, like, it just makes me think, though, if that's the reality of the situation and they're still doing so well, kind of sucks. But I'm glad our girls are getting something new and exciting, and hopefully this motivates us for the next season.
Yeah, super excited for them. And this season was what it was. There certainly wasn't because of the training facility that it didn't turn out well, but it's a clean slate at the beginning of the season, and that's a great place to start. And again, like I said, the motivation comes from all sorts of areas, and this can only be one way for the team and the staff and everybody to get motivated to say, okay, look, like this is collective. Let's do something this season. Like, let's prove the haters wrong. So, but either way, one thing we weren't proven wrong about was the final game of the season, which we haven't talked about. I know it seems like eons ago. I don't even know when was that. Was that Friday?
According to our notes tonight. No.
Our notes are not tonight. So anyways, Nina put the notes in here for the game recap. Long, lengthy, talking about the game. And no, we're not doing that. Sorry.
She literally vetoed. So Amanda always complains if I start notes too early and then she can't find them. So I created this note and I titled it Reasons Why Nina Should Get a Cat. That way I knew she would open it. I knew she would look at it and she wouldn't forget it.
I was really ready to write down my reasons and then I realized I'd been bamboozled. So either way,
Anyways,
we have notes. And they are podcast notes. They are not reasons to get a cat, but I could tell you the reasons why. I have 3 good reasons why you should get a cat, Nina.
If you're on YouTube, Amanda's got this like full cat shirt going on today too, so it's very appropriate.
Yes, I support a local cat, or not a cat rescue out in Brooklyn at Heidi Ringel's Cats, and these were the shirts she was selling, so I supported that.
But within that, so I wrote game recap, and Amanda's response was, "Really, Nina? No one gives a
poop." I put poop emoji. No one gives a poop. We lost. No one wants to sit here and rehash the last game of the season that, knowing good and well going into it, it was going to be, whatever game. It didn't matter. We were already out of the playoffs. And it was just like, I mean, I'm sure they wanted to go out on a high note, but that's not what happened. So no one needs to relive that. Had we played, extremely well and went out with a bang, we would go over that. All we're going to do is tell you what happened. And I highlighted the notes for Nina. She's going to read to you exactly what I thought mattered in the notes. Nina, please take us through the game recap.
Angel City lost in their final match of the 2024 NWSL season on the road against Portland Thorns, following goals by forwards Christine Sinclair, Sophia Smith, and Morgan Weaver. The match marked the retirement of NWSL and Canadian national team legend Sinclair, who has played for the Thorns since the inception of the league.
I think that's a perfect game recap. I don't know that there's anything in the middle there.
We don't even really mention Angel City.
What did? Well, I mean, what? Let's talk about the stats. We'll talk about the stats, Nina. How about that?
Okay.
We'll talk about Angel City because, in all honesty, the stats, considering the score line, were not as poor as you would think in a 3-0 loss, because in this game we controlled possession, we had more passes and better pass accuracy. So if you want to go over that, please, Nina.
Okay, Vince is on Instagram agreeing with you. Sounds about right, says Vince. He's like, yep, perfect recap.
Appreciate you.
Let's go through these stats, because you're right. If I look at the stat line, I feel like it was an Angel City game. 12 shots for Angel City, 3 on target. Portland Thorns, 11 shots, 6 on target. But we dominated possession with 66%, and we had 82% pass accuracy compared to their 69%. Now, we did double their fouls, and we earned a yellow. But all in all, the stats are relatively in our favor.
Yep, which is a tale as old as time sometimes with this team, where we'll dominate in every category except the one that matters, which is goals scored. And, unfortunately, we knew going into this matchup, it didn't matter. Playoffs were done, as we had said. But, I'm sure they would have loved to have gone out with a bang, gotten some more goals, under their belt, but it just didn't happen. And it is what it is. It's not going to affect anybody's opinion of this team going forward, because, again, it'd be hard for me to go out there and put it all out on the line considering the circumstances. I mean, God forbid you get hurt or something happens.
Especially on turf.
Exactly. Up there in Portland, so hey, whatever. Game is a moot point. So that's why it's no reason to go in and say who kicked a ball and which ball Harachich saved or not. No one cares. So what we can talk about, though, let's talk about the standings and where they're at, and we can talk about playoffs.
Yeah, so the standings ended with Orlando Pride up top, no surprise there, followed by Washington Spirit, New York, New Jersey, Gotham, KC Current, NC Courage, then the Portland Thorns in 6th place, Bay FC in their rookie season coming in 7th, and followed in the final spot by Chicago Red Stars. Missing the playoff in order, Racing Louisville just barely missing that cutoff. Not really just barely, but missing that cutoff. San Diego Wave came in 10th place, Utah Royals 11th. We ended the season in 12th place, followed by Seattle Reign, and taking up that wooden spoon, Houston Dash.
Poor Paige.
Poor Paige.
He got down from a 12 team to a 14.
14.
Still haven't replaced her. Like, my God. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that signing. I'm not really sure where it went, but playoffs are well underway. We are into the semifinals, just waiting to see who's going to play in that championship game. Of course, Orlando Pride in that number 1 spot, taking on KC Current, who are actually, no matter what, hosting the final. And then on the other side, you've got Washington Spirit facing off against New York, New Jersey, Gotham.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, when you look at this, if KC advances, it's going to be hard for them to get beat at home. That stadium is going to be lit. I cannot even imagine. I think it's going to be anyways. Feel like Kansas City has certainly embraced soccer, especially women's soccer. They've really done a fantastic job. And their stadium has been, tremendous. So this is going to be who do you got? Let's get some.
I was going to say, Vince wants to know who you have to win it all. I'm going KC Current all the way. I'm sorry. I think they're going to take out Pride now that Pride has eventually lost a match, and I think that they have a good shot, and they want to have that home field and that excitement brought back to their city. I think they're taking it.
Same. I think KC's got a lot of motivation behind them, especially, they've got Chwinga, who's been on fire, and I think she's going to continue doing those kinds of things. And I think the extra motivation to be able to play a final on their home turf, there's got to be a lot of motivation there. So, I definitely think whoever wins between Orlando and KC, I think is certainly winning it, is what I think. So I kind of I want to see KC do it. I do. Well.
Absolutely. And so that final matchup is going to be happening on the 23rd at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. The next day, though, after that, on November 24th, Sunday, November 24th, we're going to have a skills challenge. And okay, I got to point something out about this because it's just making me a little nuts. So it's going to be at either 3 or 5. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it says. It says Sunday, November 24th, 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. We don't know.
We're in there.
We'll let you know. Depends on how we're feeling that day.
What is this our broadcast? Is this us? Did we host this? Is it like,
what is the determining factor here? Like, what determines that? Like, I guess I need to know, like, what else is going on? Like, are they going to all be standing around like at 3 and then they're like, oh, wait, no, we're going to push it 2 hours. Like, when do they decide that? Why is this such I don't know. That's kind of that.
Or is this a mistake? Is it supposed to be, say, 3 p.m. Eastern or 5 or like 3 p.m.?
No, because that would be mountain 2 hours. I don't know. That feels very like 2015 NWSL-esque.
We laughed so hard.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
But I do love a skills challenge.
All right. Well, if you don't have any plans on Sunday, November 24th at 3, but you do
or
at 5,
5.
I don't know. Maybe you need to make, I don't know. I'm sorry. You can't make plans. You just have to block off your whole day now. So do we know anything about the skills challenge? Like who's in it and what the
No,
team?
but I think we need to recreate it. Whatever challenge they give, you and I are hitting the park.
And we're going to redo it and somebody's
and
going to film
We're
it?
going to embarrass ourselves.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that. If anybody wants to see that. I mean, I'm absolutely awful. I have my marathon like shortly before that.
We'll wait till after the marathon. I don't need you to like delaminate your ligament playing kickball again.
Please appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Well, more to come on that if we find out any more information between now and then, we'll let you know. Yeah, we still have another pod before this, so we'll get you in there. So, all right,
yeah,
let's talk about some records here. We've got a record-breaking season for new franchise BAFC.
11 wins, the most wins for an expansion team in a single season. Woo, good for you. Next.
Somebody just yelled outside like really loud and all the cats just ran into the other room. So if you see something happen and I disappear, please call the cops. Thanks.
Well, that's why I podcast with my front door behind me. So that way, anything comes in, you'll see it.
Oh, good. I'll see them walk up behind you and just grab you and be like,
get a good description.
Well, anyways, most wins for an expansion team.
All right. And then this next graphic I definitely put up for you and just for you. Did you always know Chwenga would win the NWSL Golden Boot? Yes, or yes, but in blue or in teal.
It's cute, Kansas City. I see what you did there. I mean, yeah, she's been fantastic. She's had just a phenomenal season, and yeah, super happy for her. I mean, in this league, there's really hardly any reason to ever hate on anyone. Like we are all here to elevate this game and each of the players individually, and to see her have such a dominant performance this season is a lot of fun to watch. I mean, to be honest, so I enjoyed that, and good on her. Congratulations on the Golden Boot. Keep it going. Let's see if Casey can roll on in to that home field and take it all. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Speaking of more winners.
Yeah.
None of them were it.
Yeah. What's been really sad is as like all of these like NWSL awards and things like that have come out and the Ballon d'Or and everything like that. No Angel City representation.
Right.
It's just difficult to watch. Like not all like it, at least in our other seasons, we had somebody that we could still like cling on to. And it's just like, ugh, it's so frustrating. Like I want to celebrate all these people, but I'm just like, don't care.
When you think of the Ballon d'Or in the rankings, what are things that you think are taken into consideration for this?
Sadly, I think goals scored is taken into more consideration than defense.
Sure.
I think that attacking players are considered heavily. I think we talk about, accuracy of their passes, accuracy in terms of shots on target. I think we talk about expected goals. I think we talk about their actual technical skill and their touch. Those are the things I'm thinking about.
Why wouldn't someone like Chwenga be in this conversation then?
Because FIFA and World Soccer is corrupt. I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm just curious. You take a Golden Boot leader for a team, who's pretty dominant and had a great oh my God, I just read Ben's comment while I was trying to do one thought. And did we
we did talk about this a little bit. Let's derail. Let's derail with Ben's comment here. Thank you.
Because I have no answers for why that. I was just curious based on what we thought it was and why she wasn't and everything. But let's move on from that to the worst naming in history for things. And we talked about this on the pod about Boss Nation FC. Is it still that? Have they not changed it yet? Is it still Boss Nation?
I'm Googling it right now, but I'm pretty sure they have not changed it. Yeah. No, Boss Nation FC. It's a great day to start a new legacy.
Mm.
Oh, you're gonna be so pissed.
Oh,
Seat deposits, $20 to $75.
we don't even go parking for that.
Oh, we are the many. We are Boss Nation FC. You're welcome.
Boss Nation. That's so God. It's like sounds like a new fraternity or something. Like I just don't love it. It just doesn't have any. I don't know. Everything about it was poor and terrible and awful. And I don't know. I'm just glad. I wish it would take more of the focus away from us and our performance.
Be the many is another one of their taglines.
We the many.
No, be the many.
Oh, be the many.
Yeah.
Unless you're a dude with
I thought we were supposed to be individuals.
no balls allowed though. Remember?
Yeah, no balls allowed. The best and worst taglines ever.
So bad. Like
Just
I just can't. Whatever.
it's so bad. Thank you, Ben, for reminding us and making us feel better for a brief moment on this podcast.
Yeah, but at least we don't have that as a name. And yeah, just God.
Yeah. Andy's got it. Just so much cringe.
There's
So
cringe
horrible.
across the board. Like just it somehow took a shot at everybody at the same time. Somehow. I don't know.
It's one of those things though that you and I send each other and we're like comment section now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
you're just let's train wreck. All right, let me get my tea. Where's the rosé?
Hold on. I've got my rosé. I'm in the comment section. Now go. And they did not disappoint. Everyone was pretty much on point with that. It was yeah, equally terrible, but whatever. I know that they retract some of it, but oh Lord, Ben
on fire.
this is why you guys have to either be on YouTube or come on in with your own comments, because then you could be someone who also says, I mean, if they don't win, they'll be called Lost Nation. Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh God, thank God.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, please. Thank you, Ben, for that. So we'll have that queued up in the event, that it becomes something, or they're just, they're not doing
Home
well.
opener.
I mean, they kind of, just with their whole tagline, their whole intro video, they kind of started off as Lost Nation. I mean, they lost a lot of, I think, support out the bat. They lost a lot of respect with that whole thing. So, yeah, I think they're already a Lost Nation, and they really need to prove themselves to be Boss Nation if that's what they want to be. But I don't want to call them that. I'm just going to refer to them as the Boston team that with no balls. I don't know.
Well, let's get back into people who are doing well.
All right. So sorry, we derailed. You're welcome for that.
Yes. 2024 Ballon d'Or final rankings. We ended up with Sophia Smith in 4th place. Mallory Swanson took 6th. Trinity Rodman, 9th place. Banda took 12th. Alyssa Nair, 17th. And I'm probably going to butcher it, but Tarcian, 23rd.
Sure. I love that. It's really good.
So really exciting to see all of these players getting recognized. Like we said, no Chewinga seems like a snub to us. And Angel City is not getting any love. So there's that. But one person who did get love, Emma Hayes, 2024 Ballon d'Or Women's Coach of the Year. I love this for her. She's leading the U.S. Women's National Team in a way that I don't feel like I've been motivated and seen in quite some time. So very exciting to see her being recognized. Just good moments.
Yep. No, I love that. I mean, she's, seems like something that this team needed. They just weren't, gelling well under the former so funny. I'm going to bring this up in a second, but yeah, they just weren't doing well under Vladko. And I feel like whatever it is that she's doing, whatever connection she has, whatever it is, hopefully we're going to see some good things continue to come on with this U.S. Women's National Team. It is a little funny that we're talking about the champion of NWSL could quite possibly come by way of Vladko and Freya Kum. Kind of interesting. So yeah, will with that, we talk about coaches and maybe it's just all about fit. It's all about style. It's all about connection, especially with women. Let's just be honest. Women, we are an emotional being. We are intuitive. We are not always so like robotic, like, do that, go there, do this. Sometimes we interpret things. Sometimes we internalize things, and you really do need a coach that can kind of figure that out. A coach that can sense that, a coach that can find a way to reach you. And sometimes it takes different tactics to reach different individuals. And that's a hard job for a coach. Coaching women is probably difficult in that aspect. On the other aspect, I've heard that coaching women is far easier because you tell them to do something and they do it, and they do it well. They execute it, as you said. They don't try to put their own spin and flair and ego on it. They just execute. And tactically, women sometimes are much more proficient than men. But again, there's another
I agree with that. I mean, just think about how many times you've told your husband how to do the laundry or how to do dishes or things like that, or where to put things away.
Or how to cut a cucumber with the mandolin. Showed him exactly how to cut it. And then I was like, when you get close enough, use the little guard. And no, you know what he did? He just watched TV until he cut his finger off. And then, that's where we're at. Not even joking. Have to change that dressing every day after they sewed the tip of it back on. But yeah, they kind of
great.
They kind of think that, men, kind of come into it, they think, they rely a little bit on, the fact that they know what they're doing. And you tell them to do something. But yeah, I mean, my husband has always said, in MMA, when he was, managing an MMA studio, that the women fighters weren't always, they're not the strongest, they're not the fastest, but because of that, they are the most technically proficient. They can't rely on brute strength. They can't rely on speed. They can't rely on freakish abilities to jump really high. They have to rely on the fact that when they kick the ball, that it goes where they want it to be going, because that's how good they are at doing it. So yeah, I think coaching women has to be both easy and hard. They can execute so well and they listen and everything, but there's also another element to it that that you have to be a special coach to be able to really break through a whole roster of women and their emotions. And I mean, I don't mean to be trigger warning real quick for men. Can you imagine dealing with, women, and we go through our cycles, and I know how I am a day or two of the month. I'm emotional. And if they're not on the same one, that means someone might be emotional every single day for a different reason, because, it's chaos. I mean, there are days when I'm at work and I'm like, just don't even talk to me. Or you look at me wrong and I want to cry. Or all of a sudden I want to eat everything that's in front of me, so it's a whole different element. And I think there are some amazing men coaches, but it's definitely a woman coach like her understands it. And if that's a problem and those women need someone to understand it, maybe she's doing that for them. And I appreciate that. So.
Yeah. So we shall see how the rest of this off season plays out. I mean, it's not the off season for everyone yet. We've got a final, we've got a skills challenge at some time or another. And, Amanda and I'll tune in every once in a while. It's not going to be every Thursday now going forward. We're going to celebrate a little of our own little off season and the holidays approaching, but we will get back with you anytime there's a latest and greatest. And if we get some breaking news, we'll do our best to hop on and be here with you. Panda, any final comments before we go to our quote?
I don't think so. I mean, I think, cheers to third season. I'm curious to see what changes we make in the off season. Whether it's signings, whether it's firings, I don't know. And again, those are the kinds of things that are going to prompt us to kind of pop on here and talk to everybody. So set your notifications so that you are alerted when we go live, because we want your thoughts on this as well. And if you're not able to get on there live, give us your thoughts, send us a DM, something. We'd love to talk about it, and banter about it or bring it up. Or if you have a good question that you want us to bring out to everybody to answer as well. Well, that's why you're a big part of this too. It's not just me and Nina sitting here talking to one another while you guys listen. This is but for everyone, we're all in this together, misery loves company. So come on in.
Well, hopefully less misery next season. And with that, let's go to words from one of our youngest players, Giselle Thompson. She says, "We've all been through a lot and it's been really hard. We are trying to look at the positives and still grow as a team as we look to next year. We want to keep growing and building, and we're really a strong team, and we're all just trying to stay positive." Ain't that right?
I mean, that's all any of us are trying to do. I feel like that's a life lesson in general. You go through hard times, you figure it out. You go through good times, you figure it out. I mean, one of the biggest lessons that, me and Christian always talk to each other is it's a big story that I won't go into, but, when times are tough, this too shall pass, but also when times are good, this too shall pass. So no matter what you're going through, it's going to constantly change, and we have to just remain steadfast in our support and our faith in this team. And hey, if they want opinions from us and they want to hear what we have to say, then hey, let it be heard. There's ways to do that, and tactfully. We don't have to bash the team. We don't have to be down on everything. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you and I, we're going to get up, we're going to go to our jobs, we're going to make our money, and this for us does not define us. This team does not make or break whether or not we pay our bills. It truly is entertainment. So, hopefully they can figure it out and come back stronger and better than ever. But rest assured, we will be there to welcome them back at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely. Panda, you ready?
Ready.
Good, because we're going.